Alright, let's take a look at every Premier League club and see what player is not getting enough minutes this season and should be on the pitch more. Oh, and by the way lads, I've recorded this video on Friday, so hopefully none of these players started at the weekend and made me look like a mug. Arsenal, Nicolas Pepe. I don't understand this one. What was the point of paying 72 million quid for Nicolas Pepe if you're not going to play him? Look, I get he needs time to settle in, but lads, it's nearly Christmas. How much more time does he need to pick up splinters off the bench? This is the most amount of money this club has ever paid for a human being, and yet he's been benched for 5 games, only played the full 90 minutes on 5 occasions, and always seems to be the first one dragged off the pitch. I'm sorry, but if you pay over 70 million quid for a winger, you play him pretty much every game. For Christ's sake, Arsenal were drawing 1-1 at home with Wolves in a game where they desperately needed a creative spark, and yet Unai Emery left Pepe to rot on the bench for 2 full hours. That was shocking mismanagement. It's no wonder he's sacked. Aston Villa, Conor Hourihane. I have to admit, I've changed my opinion on Conor Hourihane. Don't get me wrong, I still haven't fully forgiven him for botching a clear 1-on-1 against Denmark the other week, but I used to think he was about as much use as a bag of expired turnips. But no, he is, contrary to popular opinion, actually a half decent player. Placed above, he looked like a superstar in the Ireland team, but that's not saying much. Anyway, he's only just started 5 of 13 games for Aston Villa this season, playing the full 90 minutes just twice. I'm not sure why. In his limited time on the pitch, he's already picked up 2 stunning goals, 2 assists. The lad deserves more minutes. Bournemouth are now Danjuma. Again, this one makes no sense. Don't get me wrong, who am I to question the wisdom of Eddie Howe, but still, can someone explain to me why Arnaud Danjuma has spent the season rotting on the sidelines? He hasn't been injured, he was a 13.7 million signing. I'm sorry, do Bournemouth, with a stadium capacity of 10,000, have the luxury to be chucking 15 million euros on bench warmers? I wouldn't have thought so. Then again, judging by the existence of Dominic Solanke and Jordan Ibe, maybe they do. Danjuma was left out of the first 6 matchday squads, has started just once and be given 4 20-minute cameos. I'm still not sure why. Brighton, Glenn Murray. Yeah, I realise Glenn Murray is as old as time itself, but still, the man deserves more minutes than he's getting. I realise he's 36 years of age and is probably starting to find it difficult to climb up the stairs, but lads, the man has a goal instinct that you just can't buy. He was old last season and still scored 15 goals, 14 the year before and 23 the season before that. I get that he's old, but Brighton have scored just 15 goals this season, the 6th lowest in the league, and yet Murray hasn't started a game in nearly 3 months. Just something to think about, Graham Potter. Burnley, Robbie Brady. What is Sean Dyche doing to Robbie Brady? Maybe I'm biased considering this lad gave me one of my greatest ever moments in sport, but still, Robbie Brady is a good player, isn't he? It seems only yesterday this lad was terrorising defences and lashing home free kicks for Burnley. Now he's a perennial bench warmer. Left out of the first 4 matchday squads and failing to get off the bench on 3 occasions, he's been tossed one measly start against Leicester and having to make do with a combined 46 minutes of top 5 football this season. Dyche, please stop strangling the life out of Ireland's best players. We're not blessed with talent in abundance, so please, just chuck Brady back on the pitch. He can't do any worse than Aaron Lennon. Chelsea, Michy Batshuayi. I'm not sure why every Chelsea manager seems to view Michy Batshuayi as the spawn of Satan. The fella's been neglected more often than Joe Jackson's kids. I don't get it, the lad is a proven goal scorer. The club must have believed in him once upon a time to chuck 35 million quid at his head. The lad has scored title-winning goals, patiently bided his time on the bench, scored goals out on loan without bad-mouthing your club. Even this season, he already has 6 goals in very limited game time, including a crucial winner out on Ajax. Probably smashing set off the kitchen counter out of pure frustration that Tammy Abraham has hit the ground running because he is yet to start a single Premier League game this term, and shockingly, never played more than 17 minutes in a single match. We're 3 months into the season and the lad doesn't even have a combined 90 minutes under his belt. Crystal Palace, James McCarthy. This was supposed to be this man's rehabilitation. The move that would get his career back on the ropes and out from underneath the treatment table, but no. Roy Hodgson seems to have forgotten he ever signed this man. Just 1 start. 1 start James McCarthy has been given. Yeah, I know he's been riddled with injuries and probably wakes up in the dead of night with flashbacks to Salomon Rondon's knee, but just over 2 hours of football under his belt? It's not good enough, lads. Please stop reducing this man to 15-minute cameos and give him a few starts. For Christ's sake, it's not too long ago this lad was linked with moves to Man United and was seen as one of the best players outside the top 6. Everton, Cenk Tosun. Listen, don't get me wrong, I'm no massive fan of Cenk Tosun. He's looked largely terrible for Everton thus far, but can he do any worse than Moise Keane? The lad has scored goals in Turkey, and don't forget, he actually started his Goodison Park career pretty well as a target man under Big Sam. Marco Silva, get back to basics. Keep showing faith in Tosun and have Richarlison play a bit deeper in midfield, because freezing out a £20 million striker for 3 months when most of your attacking players can't score for love nor money, it's not very clever. When he was played under Big Sam, he did well. That guy knew how to play to his strengths. He scored 5 goals in 14 games. It was a good start for him. And look at his ratio in Turkey. I know it was only for Besiktas, but still, he scored 64 goals in 4 seasons at that club. On his day, Tosun is a good finisher, as he showed with that last-minute strike against Spurs a few weeks ago. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is not that. Richarlison is a winger, not a centre-forward, so yeah, I'd be playing Tosun a lot more. Leicester, Demarai Gray. Look, Leicester are going so well at the moment, it's hard to find a justification for any substitute being in this team, but let's try and pretend that Demarai Gray should be getting more starts. Let's be honest, he probably shouldn't, and he's the only person on the planet who believes he should be, but hey, I can't think of anyone else, and to be fair, he is a talented winger. Just one start in 13 games, he's probably pretty annoyed. Liverpool Ryan Brewster. Jurgen Klopp keeps reassuring Ryan Brewster almost every other day that his chance will come, and yet it never does. Like that time he hinted Brewster would make his debut against Barcelona. Yeah, that didn't happen. Or when he said he'd get plenty of minutes this season. Again, no. I get that he's young, but he's not exactly a small child. The lad is going to turn 20 this season. Wayne Rooney was almost hitting 20 goals a season at that age. If Brewster, an underage World Cup winner, is the budding superstar we all believe, then give him a few minutes on the pitch, especially when Roberto Firmino went on a 6-game goal drought. Just give Brewster a chance. Man City Phil Foden. Phil Foden would walk into most teams in the Premier League. It's just a fact. And yet, his talent is being completely smothered at Manchester City. Maybe he should have gone the Jadon Sancho route, who refused to make do with the bench and listen to unfulfilled promises of game time by Pep. Look at him now, regular England international and scoring at the Nou Camp. Foden, by contrast, has played 54 minutes of top-flight football this season, failing to start a single game or even play more than half an hour. For Christ's sake, the poor lad went 2 months without a single minute. Get out of City, Foden, because Guardiola is just leading you on. Why do I get the feeling Foden isn't going to start taking career advice from an unshowered Irishman in a shed? Man United Tahith Chong. This is Paul Pogba Mark II, isn't it? Tahith Chong is a Dutch winger who's finding himself linked with Europe's elite after being stuffed on the bench this season. Again, Chong is young, but in footballing terms, he's coming of age. He turns 20 this week and it's just 24 minutes of Premier League football this season. By contrast, Jesse Lingard, a man allergic to goals or assists, has 441 minutes. How demoralising must that be for an up-and-coming winger? Newcastle Dwight Gale. Yeah, I know Dwight Gale has already been tried and tested in the Premier League, but if we're being honest, he's not the worst striker the top flight has ever seen. He's one of those players who excels in the Championship and just flatters to deceive in the big leagues. But still, does he not deserve more than 24 minutes of action this campaign when the likes of Joe Linton stink up the place on a weekly basis? Yeah, he's not great, but the last time he was in the top flight with Newcastle, if Joe Linton beats that figure this season, I'll bite off my hand. Norwich, Dennis Rabeni. It's hard to find one for Norwich, considering Dennis Rabeni did more in 6 minutes against Everton than Timo Pukki has in 2 months. Maybe there's something to be said for this lad getting more minutes up top. 28 minutes all season, 1 goal, it's not a bad ratio. Sheffield United Billy Sharp. Who am I to tell Chris Wilder who he can and can't pick when he's got this Sheffield United team playing out of their skin? But still, I'd say Billy Sharp must feel hard done by. After over 100 goals for the Blades, helping them to 2 promotions, you might feel like he's earned a bit of trust in the top flight. Yeah, he's 33, but still, scored a last-minute leveler on the opening day just 8 minutes after coming out of the pitch. 3 months later, and he's yet to start a single game. Southampton Sofiane Boufal. Maybe it's because I'm a fan of dribblers, but I've never understood why Sofiane Boufal has been ostracised at Southampton. His close control is perfect. He has the ability to torch defences alive. For God's sake, look at that goal he scored against West Brom 2 years ago. The Moroccan practically ran the length of the pitch, and yet he started just 4 games this season, in a squad desperately short of creativity and ideas. Sort it out, Ralph. Tottenham Victor Wanyama. Does somebody want to explain to me why Victor Wanyama is no longer getting a look in at Spurs? I don't care what anyone says, he's a damn good player, and yet he's only played 23 minutes against Leicester this season and finding himself linked with a move back to Celtic. He's only 28. What happened? Watford Kiko Femenia. Again, okay, I'm not passionately advocating the re-inclusion of Kiko Femenia, but he does seem like he was made a bit of a scapegoat after the 8-0 drubbing at the Etihad. Instead of writing it off as an off day, he was instantly dropped and didn't start any of the next 6 games. Bit harsh? West Ham David Martin. Listen, I don't care that this lad is a 33-year-old professional third choice goalie. I don't care he hasn't been first choice since 40 games of League One 3 years ago. He's a living human with a working brain and pulse. Chuck him in the net. Anything. Even a block of wood or a hungover goat. The tea lady after 3 strokes. Anything would be better in net than the human sack of disappointment that is Roberto. I'm not sure how I can adequately sum up the subhuman abilities of the Spaniard. He can't catch a ball. Clearly his hands made out of paper mache. Has the shattered wafer-thin confidence of a recently divorced old man out on the pull. Whose idea was it to bring him to the club? He's absolutely shocking and making the likes of Joe Hart, a former West Ham laughingstock, look like the second coming of Gordon Banks until Lucas Fabianski is back from injury, which hopefully wasn't at the weekend, or this entire paragraph and section will be void and irrelevant, like many of the stats in the video I'm guessing. But until Fabianski is back, chuck David Martin in nets, because honestly lads, I doubt he can do much worse. Wolves Morgan Gibbs-White. Yeah, I realise he's had a back injury, but Morgan Gibbs-White was given the all clear over a month ago, and he's still not really getting a look in at Wolves. Look, I get that he's just 19 and needs to be patient, especially considering the strength of the midfield, but still. Anyway, that's the end of the video. What do you think, lads? What player do you think should be starting more, getting more minutes on the pitch? And I must stress, I recorded this on Friday, so don't have me nailed to the cross if someone like Dwight Gale suddenly gets his first start and starts banging in hat-tricks, alright? Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, share and subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.